So presumably all these no-go areas in Europe, in all of the Scandinavian countries, like Sweden, the bombing and rape capital of the world, like London, like Paris, there's already reports of police saying, look, during this lockdown, we're not even going to bother going into certain high crime known regions. Isn't that a bit contradictory? Surely if people know that the police aren't going to interfere, they're not going to adhere to the lockdown, we should be seeing thousands of immediate deaths and cases across all of these no-go areas. And these no-go areas are real, by the way. I mean, just look at the statements coming from Sweden. As I'm using Sweden as an example because what's happening in Sweden is horrific in itself. I think it's being overshadowed, obviously, by this. But so, what kind of virus is this? Is this only attacking people that the media says? Well, we know that it's only attacking people that the media says. But really, I've been doing this. Have a think about the contradictory element of that. That if the police are refusing to even deal with low-level crime on the normal streets, that includes burglary, house break-ins, assaults, prostitution, drug dealing, etc. They're just going to ignore it because they say they're too busy dealing with the Corona-19 virus, or COVID-19 coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it. But there's no-go areas all across Europe, and you can't quarantine one and not the other. If the rules say that you're only quarantining people, isolating people to stop the spread of disease. So again, ask people if they're questioning this, put that to them, say, tell us about this. And then first of all, you'll obviously have people say, no such thing as no-go areas, or no, right, and you can force the information on them, as you know, and they won't look at it. They won't see the hundreds, thousands of no-go areas. And the logic behind my statement this evening, that if the police aren't going to interfere in these areas and the people within these areas therefore won't adhere to it because the police knowing full well that there is no reaction to it, then this really is a middle class, kind of working class disease, isn't it? And I remember speaking out the lyrics to the Dire Straits' Industrial Disease. And I tell you what, it is becoming by the day a farce, this industrial disease of epic proportions. And the contradictions are, as well as the celebrity royal MP poster people that none of them have died. None of them are going to die. One old one might die. I mean, God, how many old celebrities or politicians die anyway? So, that'll be a message. Not being insensitive. I still think it's a load of old tosh as far as the countries that may have been attacked. And when I say attacked, I'm talking about a man-made strain rather than just the COVID-19 that everybody's talking about. And I think a lot of people will understand that as well, that countries like Italy and Spain have reasons to be attacked in many ways if this is a continuation of the destruction of the individual nations and races and people of Europe, which, if you look at it now, China seems to have died down apparently. There's nothing going on there. Well, look at what is going on where and the contradictions. It's astonishing that people are buying any of it. But of course, they've got their legion of enforcers, dun, dun, dun. And if you do step out of your house or you're in the wrong place, they'll fine you, they'll imprison you. So you're living like a slave. And for what? For what? Cheers.